that plays Yuumi without Zeri. Of course it's him. He's that guy.
If you get caught out, you go a little too far forward and you don't find your man, the amount of re-engage and just kind of burst damage available for BLG is kind of something. Both these teams are going to be throwing themselves and everything else they have at each other just to try and get the fights to start off. They pop down on an exhaust, cleanse does come out, the Gravitum is going to be good, and they're going to have to force a flash and a heal. On's coming in off the backside, and that's Rakan getting the first blood. BLG smell blood in the water, and they take themselves the first kill. Yeah, you don't have the paranoia here for JJ, so not quite sure. They've checked a little bit, but then they're going to try and burst on top of him here. They're going to slow him down. Elk is the target, but a great Gravitum means they can't really go for the cleanse. Won't really do a hell of a lot. Now Leaves caught with his pants down around his ankles. He gets tripped up by his own trousers, and that is going to be an easy turnaround kill for BLG. And this Neela is just not looking practiced. It's not looking that good right now for Leave. There was a time where no one really...
right now. Stop it!
I'm exposing everybody. I do it too. But I remember for a while there was it was like Lifeform Disintegration Ray was one that for Vel'Koz, and no one really could remember how to say it properly. As I say that, we're going to see them kind of jumping in right on top of Fofo. No, you got duped! That wasn't the clone. The clone was the one getting away, and they committed, get themselves the kill, get themselves the Rift Herald in the bot side, and all the gold goes over to BLG. No, it has not. Not quite yet. It will wait till the power turrets go down. Leave getting jumped on a little bit here by the Wukong, but a double TP going to be brought in here by the side of BLG. They brought everybody here. Pop Blossom lands onto everybody. That is a 4-man ultimate, but nobody's gone down just yet. El's taking a lot of healing as Ala wants to try and burn him out. They're going to jump straight back in on top of the Cassante, who should be able to get away from this. How are they gaining all these damage out? The Cassante stays alive despite everyone's best efforts. And now Bin caught between himself and a hard place, and he will go down. 4 kills over to EDG. They are not done with this series.
For the side of EDG, as we see how this fight kind of initiated as the lights were turned off, so Bin wasn't able to TP at this exact moment, so he had to wait for the entire time. And then we have Fofo landing a really nice ultimate onto the carries, while Bin TPing very late. I mean, just Ala on this Cassante was also a very big nuisance for the backside of BLG to handle, and fighting in the choke, Nico was insane.
Absolutely massive engage there from Fofo, and great follow-up from Ala just to have the confidence. He didn't even lose his flash in that as well, just showing you how confident he was. He could go as aggressive as possible, get onto this Aphelios, take him out, and get himself the kills. The Dragon goes over in favor of EDG. They get themselves back into this game in terms of the goal. They're not quite equal just yet, but that helps a hell of a lot. And it all comes off the back of Fofo. I really do think that was such an incredible engage, and great to see him having such a good game.
That Doinby's wife knows how to play, but I need to stop that.
Yeah, you do need to stop that. The paranoia comes in, but Leaves already dead. They're trying to jump in on top of this Aphelios, but red and white, he is healing up. The Yuumi shall go down afterwards. That's Fofo as the Cassante, but JJ's already kind of used everything. He's already kind of wasted, or not even wasted, but just kind of used a lot of his ultimate. And now you can see the Pop Blossom come in. They're going to jump straight onto Fofo, who was isolated. Ala, are you fancying a 1v5 on the Cassante? I wouldn't bet against him, but now you've got the Rift Herald being dropped down. This is 18 minutes into the game. They may look to try and break open the base right now.
Can they get a third tower at 18 minutes? It really does seem like so. As EDG, they get caught off guard with that flank coming out of On and Shun. As this is going to be a huge shift in macro, but I didn't expect Fofo to also die, because On, I mean, it really did seem like the Rakan was going to get stuck in the Pop Blossom, but no, man was very slippery to say the least.
Absolutely, and let's have a look at the replay here, because again, it's just really good work here from On and Shun to just get onto the backside.
Yeah, and Leave did have that flash available, so I just didn't I think he didn't expect the amount of damage to come out of just a Wukong and Annie, but we have to take another look on how Fofo died. It was him dodging out on the initial Rakan W, but Bin following up with that ultimate as well. Just a numbers disadvantage for EDG to take with Ala arriving late.
Oh, another TP coming in. That's going to be Yagao on the backside. Going to jump onto Bin just to stun him down. Drops the Timbers for the extra bit of damage. The paranoia to see if they could maybe get rid of some of that vision. But a double kill coming in for Shun on this Wukong. You just cannot give over a Wukong and Annie. It is too damn powerful. And Baron's not spawning for 30 seconds. And the funny thing is normally that would be an immediate turn to the big purple worm, but they can't do it right now.
Bit of an awkward situation to be BLG, as you do have 2 people dead on the side of EDG, but
5 seconds till Dragon spawns. You do have the Neela and Yuumi
look at
back
that TP
again,
ward.
but don't have any summoners. TP from the Malphite could be absolutely massive. He's going to reset just before anything else can really happen. They're going to clear out all this dark vision. JJ is still off to the side. He hasn't committed to anything just yet. TP coming in from Bin as he has finished up his Iceborne Gauntlet. We are going to see already On taking a lot of damage, and they're going to jump straight onto the Nocturne. JJ just cannot do it. They throw everything on top of Elk, but it does mean that they now have nothing to try and throw back at the rest of the team, because you've used everything to kill this Aphelios. But don't forget, the Cassante is huge with a cat on his back. Will he have enough to keep himself alive? No, not quite. And a smack down from the rock onto the cat gives themselves the ace. That's going to be a 5 for 2 in favor of BLG. They can go for the Dragon, they can go for a push in mid, they can go for wherever the hell they want.
And Shun surprisingly did the most damage out of that team fight for the side of BLG, but we'll have another look at what just happened, because JJ closed the lights and his focus was on the AD carry of BLG. Elk trying to make distance with that Gale Force and Flash available, but unfortunately not having enough distance from Fofo. But every single ability committed to this Aphelios meant that they didn't have anything to kill this Wukong and Malphite, which was such a menace in this team fight. Ala desperately trying to do anything, but the Flash to kind of get that distance didn't mean too much, as it wasn't over the wall. And a very clean 3-for-5 trade.
Very, very clean. 8,000 gold, or just underneath it now, in favor of BLG. 2 dragons to the good as they look for 2 more to get themselves that Infernal Soul point. On now having a much better game comparatively to game number 2. Game number 1 was good. Game number 2, we forget about that, but it's all good, because if he's able to bring out the win here for BLG, keep their undefeated series run going, would be fantastic for this organization. And again, kind of adding another accolade to why this team can be seen as, you know, arguably, you know, a top 2, if, you know, like, you know, team in the split without, you know, kind of any kind of, you know, kind of doubt in our minds.
Yeah, and throughout spring, the only reason why, well, I wouldn't say the only reason, but a huge highlight of why EDG found so much success was because of Leave. But without that early lead that he so desperately needs, I mean, this Neela is not finding the angles that it's supposed to. And now Elk is sitting on that red and white, now threatening the Baron, as he also has a stopwatch in hand. No summoners, but does have a stopwatch. So EDG need to be very careful with how deep they go in with that engage.
There's 3 Zhonya's, or at least Zhonya's effects available for BLG. 2 stopwatches on the Shun and Elk, and then Zhonya's themselves onto Yagao. As we can, here we go. They're going to look for a big fight, and they're going to be able to find it. The Pop Blossom is good, but it's not onto Elk. Try to throw on top of him, but he's already feared. They're going to go all out in here. It's a Rakan for an eco trade. The Cassante does his job and gets himself on top of the AD carry. The Neela has been taken out, but now do they have the damage afterwards? That is the question. Bin moves forward, and this rock is just clapping down on EDG. It is a 3-for-2 trade, so better for EDG, but still in favor of BLG.
I wouldn't be surprised if Yago outdamages Elk in this game, because EDG throwing all their abilities onto Elk once again. I mean, he had to use a stopwatch, but they didn't have the remaining tools to kill the front line of BLG, but now they want to contest this.
I mean, it's got to come down to Ala. Can he do much about this one here? It's not a fast Baron, so he knows he's got plenty of time. With the cat on his back, does he have enough to kind of go for this one? Yagao is potentially the target as Bin now moves forward. The Baron down to 2,000 HP. It's going to be secured, and they're going to be able to get it onto every single member of BLG. So BLG still get their objective. I like the idea from Ala to try and maybe make something work, but the combination's just not quite there.
As you see, Fofo cosplaying as a minion, trying to catch someone off guard, but all the abilities went onto Bin for the Malphite. But we see JJ having his hands onto Elk this entire team fight, and I thought it was a winning fight for EDG. On got instantly melted, as we had a lot of healing coming out of the Yuumi and Neela, but no, you have no damage whatsoever to finish off the front line of BLG, and that is very apparent that they are the problem in these team fights that are unkillable pretty much.
Absolutely, and I love that you brought that up as well, because they got the damage down onto Elk. Elk was caught out. Everyone was kind of stopped from being helping him out with the Pop Blossom, because it caught a, you know, set a zone between the rest of BLG and their AD carry. But it just wasn't enough. 7-1 and 9 is Shun on this Wukong, and this is something that we've kind of seen since MSI, is that it used to be like, oh, the jungler got the kills, it's not that big of a deal, or, you know, it's not that great as such, but we are seeing it more and more that it's becoming a bit of a problem, and now they're going to jump straight in on top of the Nila. 1 and 7 for leave on this champion. Is it a counter to the Aphelios? The answer is no, definitively not, and that is 3 quick kills. They're going to TP down towards this bot side. As cool as a cucumber, Bin turns the tide of this fight, this game, and possibly even this series.
Look, JJ popped his ultimate for that final fight, but as a response, 3 members of EDG were asleep and they couldn't see anything as they got instantly one-shot by Yago and Bin, but still a very convincing game 3 as they look to end the game.
It's 5v2 and you're a Nocturne and a little kitty and getting thrown into the river. BLG will maintain their undefeated series wins as they pad their AD carries stats just a little bit more. There's going to be another ace, and there is another series win for BLG.
From the moment of how level 1 went for the side of EDG, I am not surprised whatsoever that Elk had a wonderful game when it came to the laning phase, and this Nila just not meeting expectations, or at least whatever EDG was cooking for this final game, where I think they should seriously reconsider this. But BLG coming out of this week now 3-0, remain defeatless.